Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. Happy Deepavali to all of you. Today is thank you. Today though is Naraka Chaturdashi. So tomorrow being Deepavali, celebrated with all brightness, sweets. How many of you get an opportunity to have firecrackers also? Ore baapre. Your city allows it? अच्छा, मुझे लगा धूम धड़ाका होता है. नहीं. So celebrate it, and we have two pujas here. So if possible, either you can catch us in morning in Saket or in the evening at Chitrakoot. Okay, we get back to our Bhajagovindam. Strangely, after first session, there was one Amma who came to me quite disturbed. She said, last week you made a bombshell of an announcement, and then this week you are just continuing as though nothing happened. Show must go on, but if you have anything to converse or say or speak, I am always open. Please reach out to me. You can talk to me directly. That's all I can offer and say. It is not like, done that, now let's move on. I just wanted to let you know about that. Okay, we have seen till the third shloka. We will read the first shloka and then you will repeat after me the. How many of you can read the first shloka along with me? थोड़ा ट्राई कर लीजिए, हो जाएगा. The fourth shloka you can repeat after me. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Moodhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrunkarane. Repeat after me. Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam Tadvajjivita Matishaya Chapalam Vidhivyadhya Bhimanagrastam Lokam Shokahatancha Samastam Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam Good. Tadvajivitamatishaya Chapalam Vidhivyadhyabhimanagrastam Lokam Shokahatancha Samastam. So in the very opening, Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji says that we miss in prioritizing several aspects of our life, thereby not making sure that we have a content life, a satisfying life. So as soon as somebody says that your priorities are not right, I think then, now or ever, it somewhere pricks us, the ego gets pricked. So we immediately probably would protest and say, what do you mean? So Bhagavan says, let me give you examples. So the first wrong priority is with regards to wealth. It should be under our disposal rather than we being the puppets in its hands. And then when you do have it, how does one cherish it? How does one enjoy having that wealth? How do we take care of what should be the priorities? That was seen in the second shloka. In the third shloka, the priority is with the kama vasana, and how does one prioritize that aspect? Now the third one, see, these are all naked truths. He is just trying to illumine them in sequence. Life itself is of a very temporary nature. कब क्या हो जाए किसी को मालूम नहीं है. However sophisticated we may be, it's not in our hands, right? So he gives an example. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam. The way he has even composed it and arranged the syllables, it has that, the flow of it in such a way. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam. Nalini means the lotus. Where does the lotus grow? In murky, muddy waters. In spite of growing in muddy, murky water, if you ever have smelt the lotus essence, lotus smell, or lotus oil jo bolte hain, if you smell it, one of the most delicate, more fragrant than jasmine, I would say. Yeah, I knew, that's why I looked at you immediately. It's always humbling to know there is something better than us. The lotus is that subtle. Now, where does it grow? It grows in this murky water. In spite of growing in that murky, dirty water, an elegant flower, it does not carry airs. Pata hai kaun hu main? I'm a lotus. These dirty waters, the environment, what we grow in the outside, whatever it be, how I take it and how I grow and what I become is my way of processing the outside to turn it and churn it to become the best that I can. That's why in most of the spiritual realm, lotus is always placed that purity on which Bhagavan sits. That is the lotus. It takes from that very dirty water, filters all that which is not necessary, takes that which makes it essentially that beautiful, delicate, amazing flower. A great message right there. Stop complaining about the environment that are around us. Problems and situations and testing times will be there always. taking all of that in and yet bringing the best. That is something that which we learn. That is the growth. Now, even for such a lotus, being in that murky waters, sometimes the dirty water falls on its leaf or petal. Nalini Dala. Nalini Dala either is a lotus petal or a lotus leaf. We used to go into those ponds and pluck these lotuses while we were, not that I knew swimming, it was just height advantage. I would go all the way in up until my chest because that's what I can handle. Beyond that I cannot. So we used to pluck a lot of lotuses, especially for the Navaratri Puja. Yeah, $50. Somebody else also was faster than me. Yes, yes. He's the coordinator of fundraising. So, these lotuses would be offered. When you look at those at a close distance, that even if water falls on it, it is like when you see mercury on your hand. It's very unstable and it has that liquidy flow and things. That when you even have a slightest blow of air, that entire water mass, without touching that lotus leaf, it falls off. Right? That water, however beautiful it may look like, it is very unstable and flimsy. Like that water droplet is our life. How is it? Nalini dalagada jalamati taralam. It's that unstable. Tadvat jeevitam atishaya chapalam. Chapalam, very fickle. Why? Vidhi vyadhi abhimanagrastam. At several layers, there is constant problem one after the other. Isn't it? At a physical level, all the indriyas, all the organs of perception, action and the internal organs, as long as they are functional, amazing. When even one aspect, one tiny aspect of it goes a little aside, as long as there is pressure in the body, blood pressure, when it is normal, it's fine. Even a little bit of it goes up. Anybody with hypertension here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody here who gives hypertension? So when that hypertension takes over and the palpitations and the, it feels like the entire thing is collapsing. That was okay. क्रिकेट मैच में मैंने होप्स रखना ही बंद कर दिया. I think after Azharuddin I stopped. That was a disappointment, and after that I never recovered into it. Anyways, fortunately I think they won. With 4 wickets. So coming back to the point, 160 kiya tha. So coming back to the point, at a physical level, even if a slightest bit changes, whoever has whatever kind of pain of that particular part feels that that is the worst kind of pain. Somebody has migraine I have been lucky that I've never had headache. My way of thinking is सर दर्द होने के लिए सर की आवश्यकता होती है. So anybody who has gone through migraines and they say that's a worst kind of pain. If somebody has kidney stones and they tell that स्वामी जी इससे ज़्यादा बढ़िया और कोई नहीं हो सकता. Toothache, see, as long as the system works, even if the enamel goes away and you have to drink hot or cold water and it starts, when which part, why it falls apart, yes, there are some obvious reasons for obvious reactions and you will be able to see it. What about those that have been given a clean chit by the doctors, by the system? They have gone through, they have seen, they have been very meticulous, they have been very active, they do exercise, they are teetotalers, they are vegan, they eat fresh food. Suddenly कुछ हुआ. कितने cases देखे आप वैसे? Like about 2 weeks ago, I knew a person who I met about 10 days before that, had a medical done, everything done, in the sleep, did not wake up. As an that he had even a cough. Na sardi, na zukam. I thought that was the best way to die. It did not bother anybody, did not get bothered by anything. In the sleep, Tata, see you, goodbye. Otherwise, the knees, the leg, the hip, the back, the kidney goes a little haywire, the pancreas go a little haywire, metabolism goes a little haywire. Yes, the pumping machine has a little rhythm to it. It becomes arithmetic. थोड़ा सा उसमें बीट बदल जाए. Now for anything else, ऐसे चाले छे, it's okay. इधर इतना भी थोड़ा भी करो, done. Why it happens again? Right? They said these are all carcinogenic. It induces cancerous. Somebody who has not been in those environments, does not have any exposure to it, still gets it. I mean, all that which examples I have taken is my own experiences with people in my own life that I have. आ रहा हूँ उसी पे है. He is telling it himself. तो पंच लाइन में अभी दे दूं तो मैं बाकी क्या बोलूंगा? You are like, read the novel, पहले जाके पीछे वाला पेज को पढ़ लो, फिर जाके आगे से पढ़ो. नहीं होगा वैसे. कृपया प्रतीक्षा कीजिए. आप कतार में हैं. नहीं, आप डालस में हैं. So the life is that unstable, right? What happens at a physical level? Now what happens at a mind level? Mood swings. I love that word. I have told you, right? Who swings? Mood swings. Why swings? Because moodha. Moodha means fool, foolish. There are so many emotions that keep coming, and every emotion I dance accordingly. See, today they said there is going to be thunderstorms. Abhi tak to aaya nahi hai. I mean, I've been inside. Did it rain outside? Not yet. Okay. That they predicted thunderstorms. Every time there is rain, do you have to get wet? I mean, there are some pagal who love dancing in rain. Let's leave them. But do you have to get wet every time there is rain? Supposing there was a banana peel on the floor, you did not see it, you stepped on it, slipped and fell. You recovered from that injury and again you saw a banana peel. Do you fret? Do you get tensed? Again banana peel, again I have to fall? Do you have to fall every single time? No. Just cross over it, don't step on it. Even better, pick it up and throw it away. Isn't that the wisdom? Swamiji, I am so angry. Angry is an emotion. Don't get identified with it. हाँ सब कहना ठीक है. It is all easy to say. I am so sad, Swamiji. Sadness is also an emotion. Just because there is an emotion, you don't need to fall. Disidentify and observe. नहीं, ये भी swing होता है, हम भी swing होते हैं. If it is sad, I become sad. If it is mad, I become mad. By mistake, it becomes glad, I also become glad. Constantly there is that fluctuation. That is also very unstable. कब मूड कैसे बदल जाए पता नहीं. Add to that a nice sprinkle of hormonal changes, or we. And the convictions, arre baap re, how flimsily that also changes. You ask a kindergartner or very young kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? Kindergarten. Most of the time when I interact with them, that's one of the questions that I ask them. Because I love the answers that they give. But in US, they are majority. Do you know what they want to become at that age? That is elementary school. Kindergarten की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. That is also elementary. ये बड़े बड़े चीजें बोल रहे हैं आप. अम्मा आप कुछ बोल रहे हैं पीछे. Universally, they want to be garbage truck driver. Exactly. अरे वाह, एक और $50. धन्यवाद प्रभु, आपकी कृपा हम पर ऐसी बनी रहे, ऐसे 100 बार गिनते रहे. Raining gold, right? And when the desi parents hear about their children wanting to become a garbage truck driver, the panic attack. Arey Swami ji, we thought it was our child. Genetics में कहीं लोची हो गया है. Why? We thought doctor, engineer or something, and what is this? My logic of it, my understanding of that is, that kid is always homebound, always has to be supervised. At the most, they have an exposure of something exciting is their garbage truck which comes weekly. And it attracts their attention because, probably they have seen the Transformer movie or something and they compare it that it has a moving limb and it proves and it is so cool that it has so much of things happening, and from their standpoint of innocence, There's a lot happening in that. And that fellow who is driving it has all the fun. So I want to have fun, therefore garbage truck driver. By the time they come to elementary, now they want to be a pilot, a firefighter, or a policeman, or they have seen lot of Batman, He-Man, She-Man, I don't know what else. Sab dekh chuke. So they want that. Then comes in the middle school, I want to be a teacher. There is some teacher that has really impressed, made a very impressive tack on their young minds. They said, no, I also want to become a teacher. By the time they come to high school, 9th grade, मुझे astronaut बनना है. But this was at least 5-6 years ago. 4 years ago, I had a shock. A bunch of kids in 9th or 10th grade, I asked them, what do you want to be? Very popularly, their idea was to quit school. Why? If you have to be successful, you have to quit school and start working in your own garage. The Googles, Facebooks and others, they all quit school. They all developed whatever they have accomplished from the garage. So our aim is to go there. The point being that they want to accomplish something, they want to cherish doing it. Don't freak out as a parent. You just have to guide their visualizations, their inspirations in a right channel. बस उतना ही करना है. We freak out and then they say, no! I said, अच्छा, आपने no बोला? You said no? There is that evil laugh in them. We will be pushing that button quite often now. Why? It irritates you. Because it irritates you, we have the freedom and the love to enjoy that. Every time you say something disciplined and they say, I'm quitting. And you start panicking. And the moment there is that panic attack that happens, the children are like, have you seen Charlie Brown? That cartoon strip? Anybody saying something, what does he read? Da 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 da. That's what the children have tuned you off and enjoying it from distance. Achha. By the time they finish that 12th grade, each one of the 12th grade hate 2 questions. Where are you going? And what are you majoring? I don't know. So if there is a kid that is saying, I don't know, and screaming, he's a decent kid. Most of the kids, when you ask them, they give you a glare. What is it for you? I will not answer. मुझे नहीं बोलना है जा. Some of them are so undecided, even the second year, second semester. Because here they have the fluctuation of too many options. हमारे ज़माने में there were 3 streams. By the time you were in 10th grade, you had to select. Either you become the biology, physics, chemistry, or maths, physics, chemistry, or commerce, or arts. थोड़े ओवर अचीवर थोड़े ज़्यादा कुछ करते हैं. मैथ्स, फिजिक्स, बायोलॉजी, केमिस्ट्री, both. There are 3 lines. That's it. Done. Your fate is sealed. Yeah, option. Every month they keep changing their option. And finally they get to one. But then eventually what happens? Whatever you study, you end up doing something else completely different. How many of you have that as an experience? That you have studied something but you are working in completely disconnected field. Is that your experience? You have seen that in plenty? Meaning what? Our own convictions are unstable, constantly shifting, constantly changing. Yesterday night you must have thought, I am tired, I am not going to Balavihar. But your child said it has to be on the stage. You're like, really? And then you finally pull yourself. Check. Can you all hear? So imagine a system where body has its own instability and its uncertainties. The mind has its own instabilities and uncertainties. The intellect and conviction has its own instabilities and uncertainties. And the experiences bring in its own uncertainties. This is life. So you are not unique, that you alone have problems. Every other person has a problem. Every person is going through some tough time at one level or the other. Don't go by their Facebook or Instagram posts कि सब चंगा सी, एकदम बढ़िया है, good house, good sunset, good children, amazing party time. हाँ, घंटा कुछ नहीं होता ऐसा. ठीक है? जीवितम अतिशय चपलम, व्याधि आधि व्याधि ग्रस्तम. And then the other half of life is abhimana. Whenever we have the pleasant times, we have too much of ego about it. The future is uncertain. We don't know. There is a very beautiful statement that Bhagavatam says, Nishvase natu mama vishvasaha. Nishvasa meaning exhalation. Natu mama vishvasaha. There is no guarantee that that will come back. That is how the uncertainty is. But in Hinduism versus the rest of the religious theological belief systems, because I was in a forum where I was talking to some rabbis, and they happened to be psychiatrists also. Why was I in that forum? I just by mistake landed in that forum. Somebody must have suggested, and then I reached. I was not qualified. They were all like professional psychiatrists from different religious backgrounds. I had a different religious background, but not professionally in that. So I ended up in that group, and they turned out to be good friends later. So they said that, one of them was about 70 years old at that time. So he said, I get a lot of patients from different backgrounds. Hindus are the ones where the fear or anxiety of death is minimal. So his question is, why is it? So that also set my, thinking. Then I came to a conclusion. Because I was thinking about it for a very long time. It was during the tsunami, when the death toll and other things, and all the news reporters from all across the globe, they were presenting it. One thing that they would present in common is, they would say these many deaths in this countries, and these many children are also dead. Why was it that a compelling thing that they would specifically talk about it? Then I started thinking and flipping all other. Then it struck me that most of the Abrahamic, they have a theological belief of YOLO. You understand YOLO? You only live once. That kid has not even lived, barely lived. What is it justifying for such kid to die? So many kids bring that to say, Swamiji, they say YOLO. What should we say? I said, you say YOLAM. Meaning, you only live until moksha. Until then, it keeps repeating. Isn't it? And because we believe that there is life after, there is birth again, and that rebirth, we continue from where we have left it off, there is a certain amount of peace with it, that it doesn't create anxiety कि एक life उसके बाद और कुछ नहीं है. Right? So with this kind of a construct that we are in, that the uncertainty is very clearly seen, though we take it for granted, when we get through life, what is more important is this moment that we have. What we make of this moment. Because at any given point, the future is not secured. However, say, you want to secure it, it is not. That who is trying to ensure it itself is not secure. What is secure is this moment, and what we do out of this moment. And that is His gift to us. That is why it is called a present. The greatest gift that we take it for granted. How we go through this moment makes us a better person or a bitter person. That is called freedom of choice. When I was growing up, many of you would have experienced also that every so often in the streets there is this sharpener. The knife sharpener used to go by. They would go in a cycle and there would be a wheel. And वो park करके वो remember? Can the knife be sharpened on butter? On styrofoam? Cotton? It requires the rough edge. Just because there is a rough edge, it doesn't mean that you end up sharpened. Supposing your angle of contact was not right, because you were at a right angle. You end up getting out even more blunt than what you started with. So the angle of contact with which you look at that life as it unfolds in this moment, and the attitude decides what the angle is. That come what may, like the lotus, I will take what this environment will give. I will filter the rest, bring out that which I am the best at, and cherish doing it. Otherwise, this whole knowledge can also lead to a lot of despair. अरे बाप रे, All this COVID, I cannot go anywhere. I cannot fly. I cannot go. I cannot eat. I cannot speak. I cannot. अरे डर डर के जीते रहेंगे. But this is what the situation is. This is what the environment is providing. These are my skill sets. These are my tools. How best, what best, so that I cherish it, and through my effort, others around, those who I am responsible for, also get an opportunity to cherish it. So make use of this moment, the best moment, and stop waiting for आएगा 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 आने वाला. वो जाएगा भी. Before we realize, what is there and what is important is this moment, and let us not take it for granted. Let us make the best use of this and cherish these moments. I'll stop here. And in that